Hello. In this lecture, I shall discuss about the optical properties of nanoscale semiconductors. I have divided these lectures into four parts. This first lecture, I shall discuss about the quantum confinement effect that are actually prominent in nanostructure, how it affect the band gap of and the optical properties, emission and absorption properties of the material. In second and third lecture, I shall discuss about various excitonic processes that are related to these optical emission and absorption processes. And in the fourth lecture, I shall discuss about the basic instrumentation of studying the optical properties of materials. Mainly, we shall focus on the study of optical properties of semiconducting material. We shall discuss there about two techniques. One is UV visible spectroscopy, both in absorption and transmission mode, and the second one is photoluminescence spectroscopy, and there we shall discuss both the room temperature photoluminescence spectroscopy as well as the temperature dependent spectroscopy. So now let us discuss about the quantum confinement effect on the optical properties of materials at nanoscale. So to start with, let us first see some reported observations. I have collected this data from this paper. The details of the synthesis of the materials you can see over there. So this data, this graph basically shows the absorption spectra, UV visible absorption spectra of zinc oxide quantum dots. Now we can see from this graph that if the size of the nanoparticle decreases, then the absorption peaks is blue shifted. Here you can see the result reported as the growth duration, and from this table we see that as the growth duration increases, the particle size increases, and from this data you see as the growth duration increases, the absorption peak is blue shifted. That means on red shifted. So on increasing the growth duration, the particle size increases. So the absorption peak is red shifted. And alternatively, we can say that on reducing the particle size, the absorption spectrum peak gets blue shifted. Here, this graph shows the calculation of band gap from this absorption data. This data also shows that here you can see over here that as the particle size increases, the band gap decreases. Actually, we always this pronounce in different way that as the particle size decreases, the band gap increases. So these are our two observation on the optical absorption spectra of quantum dots. Now this data shows the optical emission spectrum of cadmium selenium quantum dots. As you see, as the particle size increases, you can see in the graph also, in this figure also. Actually, what this picture shows here, these different cuvettes are filled with these cadmium selenium nanoparticles of different size. Here you can see the size ranges from the extreme left one is 2.3 nanometer and extreme right is 5.5 nanometer. And under dark condition, all these samples are illuminated with UV light. Now you can see that as the particle size increases, the emission color is red, or alternatively, as the particle size decreases, the emission shifts towards blue. Here is the actual data collected from the fluorescence spectroscopy that I will discuss in the last lecture. As you see, as the particle size decreases, there occurs a prominent blue shift of the emission peak. Here you see for the largest particle having diameter of 5.5 nanometer, the emission spectra is around 625 around 625 nanometer, whereas when the particle size is reduced to 2.3 nanometer, the emission spectra goes as 470, like that. So to summarize the experimental observation, we can say the absorption peak gets blue shifted on decreasing the size of the nanoparticles. We also observed an enhancement of the band gap on decreasing the particle size. And from the last spectrum, as you can see, that the fluorescence or photoluminescence peak gets blue shifted for smaller nanoparticles. And if the material shows visible luminescence, then change in color is very prominent, as you have already seen from this picture. So the question really arises, why this size dependent emission and absorption occurs? So to understand these size dependent optical properties, we have to study the electronic structure of the nanomaterials, because all these emissions and absorption are related to the transition of electron between the conduction band and valence band and any other associated states. So we have to understand the various electronic states of these semiconductors in nanoscale. So to understand these results theoretically, so first consider the electronic states near the here you can see this graph actually. Oh, it's not shown here. Mm, Actually, let us first consider the electronic state near the valence band maxima and the conduction band minima, and these two are actually responsible for absorption and emission process. So near the band edge, the electron behaves almost freely, and in this case the dispersion relation for the electron can be directly written as E equal to h cross square k square by twice m, where this mass always refers to the effective mass. In case of valence band, the energy will be EVM equal to minus h cross square by 2 mh into kx square, and in case of sorry, this should be electron energy of the electrons at the conduction band. This should be conduction band. In conduction band will be this one. This is very simple. I think you have already learned these equations from your basic semiconductor physics. So the energy difference between these two states is the conduction band minus the valence band. So by using the previous two equations, we can readily get this equation. So now what is this K? To understand the value of K, first let us assume the motion of an electron in a small nanoparticles or quantum dots. So we can assume that this electron is bound within the narrow potential of the dot, and let R be the size of the quantum dot. So if we use one-dimensional potential well model, then what we get? K equal to n pi by L, where L is the dimension of the well. So if we consider the ground state n equal to 1, so this K will be simply pi by L. L is the dimension of the well. Now since these electrons is bound within this nanocrystal, then this L must be the size of the nanocrystal, and let us put it as R. So we can use K equal to pi by R. Now this equation becomes, this energy difference becomes Ek equal to this ECBM conduction band minimum minus valence band maxima plus h cross over 2 1 by mh plus 1 by me into pi by r whole square. This equation clearly suggests that this energy difference between these two states for the same K value increases on decreasing the value of R, that is on decreasing the particle size. Now we can extend this concept to the band gap of the semiconductor nanoparticles also. So in that case, we can conclude that the size on reducing the size of the nanoparticle, the band gap increases. So in case of nano semiconductors, the band gap can be expressed as band gap on a nanoscale equal to bulk band gap plus this one. So clearly there is an enhancement of this amount in the band gap due to this quantum confinement effect, or another way we say this is the called the size effect. And this equation is the fundamental equation for studying the electronic states of the nanoparticles under nano dimension. Now, in emission spectra, it is very often observed that in addition to the band-to-band transition, new emission spectrum also arises at some higher wavelength when the particle size is very small. This effect is very prominently observed in zinc oxide quantum dots of size about 2 to 3 nanometer. And this type of emission mostly occurs due to surface related defects, mostly the Shockley defects. Now, one electron being excited from the valence band to the conduction band, a hole is generated in the valence band. So, before recombination of the electron with hole, this electron spends some time which is known as the characteristic time of the electron in the conduction band. This time is called the radiative lifetime. The interaction between this electron and hole will always be positive because electron is positively charged and the hole is negatively charged. Now, depending on the dielectric constant of the material, this interaction may be strong, may be weak. If the dielectric constant is quite large, then the Coulombic interaction is proportional to 1 by epsilon. So Coulombic interaction will be reduced, and if epsilon is small, then the Coulombic interaction will be large. Then the electron hole will form a bound state. So such electron hole pair is mainly found within non-metallic systems, and these electron hole pair are known as exciton. So, and this exciton plays a major role in determining the band gap of nanoparticles, especially for semiconductors. In the next lectures, I shall discuss about various type of excitons and their dynamics, how they affect the band gap of quantum dots. So, thank you very much.